What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to kdjTV and Whiteboard Wednesday, the MLB The Show content that absolutely features zero gameplay, generally speaking zero logic, but we have some laughs, we have some fun along the way. Today we're going to be talking about, you guessed it, MLB The Show 23. Here's the thing, it just came out. We're very early in the game cycle. Some of you just picked it up on Tuesday for the general public release, and that's fine. We don't pass judgment here. But we're going to talk about some critical issues the game is having. Now, I want to get it out there right in the open right away. I am enjoying the heck out of this game. I'm having a great time. It is light years better than 22 in my opinion. I don't want all you troll listeners to think, oh, look at content streamer man yelling at new video game because one bad thing happened. No, that's not what this is. This is constructive feedback. We're of course going to have some fun with it. But overall, this game is great. I'm having a lot of fun. These are not like game-breaking issues that long-term I'm concerned with. I like to get this out of the way. And again, I like the game. So this video is going to be super straightforward. I've got 5 things I'd like to talk to you about today. Kind of what MLB The Show 23 needs to improve on. So if you agree with any of these things, maybe you disagree, maybe you have other things you'd like them to improve upon, make sure you comment down below, like the video, subscribe, tell your grandmother, and be nice to Reptar. He's here in my pocket. So I'm pretty positive this is less of an issue in offline play, Conquest, things of that nature. But in online, we've got ourselves an epidemic with Pinpoint. I don't even know where to begin. Where do we even start with this, guys? I mean, on perfect input, if you're trying to throw a sinker down and away, you're throwing a riser like a wiffle ball that just goes straight to the backstop. The people who paid a lot of money for those tickets are spilling their beer, their hot dogs getting smudged in their face. You're scaring the pedestrians paying for the game. But realistically, that is a large problem. There's enough RNG in past titles of MLB The Show where we also don't need random wild pitches as if the pitcher sneezed while releasing the ball and he just completely lost all control. It doesn't happen enough in real life for it to actually be coded into the game. If I throw a perfect release, I expect it to go relatively close to where I want to. And that brings me to my next point about Pinpoint. By the way, look how nice that circle looks. What I have drawn for you is the par region, and for those who don't know, the par region, when you have perfect input on your pitch, depending on what type of pitch you're throwing, what type of control your pitcher has, the ball is supposed to fall within this region. I think we all kind of get how that works at this point. But what SDS has kind of tricked us with is that apparently, we're going to draw this right now. Apparently that counts as within the par region, and let me tell you, I don't think it should. As you can see, maybe you can't see, but I hope you can see, this ball is touching the par by a pube hair. And that is, I don't think, within the par region. I think when we say the word within, we think it's inside. So I am not advocating necessarily for 100% of the ball to be within the par, but I do think if we're being fair, that you should have at least 50% of the ball. That's close to 50%. It might be 49%. I don't know. The ball should be at least 50% within the par on perfect input. I think there's a way to code that into the game so it's fair. I think this certainly qualifies as within the PAR, definitely in relation to this, because you're having pitches leak over the middle of the strike zone with high control pitchers because they're counting this as within the par. And I don't know if you also agree with me, but I'm pretty sure most people do. This is stupid. I have also noticed in my first handful of days playing this game that the frequency with which the pitch is actually square in the middle of the par is like virtually zero. And I understand it's never or shouldn't always be absolutely perfect. I'm not advocating for that. But the fact that it doesn't happen more means that I think something's off with Pinpoint. It just needs to be tuned just a bit. It's not broken. There are definitely problems, but it does need to be tuned. Remove that bug where the ball just sails 800 feet above the catcher, and I think we'll be okay. Another epidemic I'm currently seeing in MLB The Show 23 is that there are more lineouts than have ever been created by Ramon himself. It is actually impossible to fathom just how many balls never leave the plane at which they leave the bat, and they're just like, the outfielders go, hey, got it, hey, got it. They don't even have to move. The outfielders is there, they catch the ball, I get upset, I cry a little bit, and we move on to the next batter. And the thing is, I don't quite understand why. They talked about making the field play bigger, and in some respects they've done that. I feel like there are a lot more singles to center field. I feel like the center fielders play really, really deep, but the corners just feel as if they're always in the right position. And I don't know how to fix it. The same thing applies to third baseman and first baseman. I've never seen more line drives snagged than ever before. Maybe it's because hitting is at a point where there are more line drives based on the feedback, based on the swing results, because they did mess with that a little bit. I don't know. You have to be really good with your PCI, but at the same time, there are a lot of balls getting smoked that I'm not seeing any results for. One of my theories, and again, I can't prove it because I'm not smart, but one of my theories is that every single hit is just generating backspin. Or not every single hit. Too many hits. If we start getting some top spin on the ball, we'll get some sinking liners, we'll get some balls that find grass, we'll get some balls in the gap. This is strictly anecdotal. I feel as if I have gotten on top of a lot of balls that are ones that are lined out that the outfielder doesn't have to move for. In reality, those are the ones that should generate the spin to tumble to the ground. It's not like I'm getting under them. It's not like I'm lifting the ball. Listen, I understand coding a video game is not perfect, especially a baseball game. We've talked about this before. There have been other editions of MLB The Show where I think lining out was even worse. But for all the advancements this game has clearly made, with hitting included, this is a problem, but hitting is better. If this gets fixed, this might be the best MLB The Show of all time. Not even joking. This one grinds my gears. They tried to eliminate fluke hits from this game, right? They made a conscious effort in all the streams to say, hey, we're doing our best to make fluke hits go away. They'll never be 100% extinct because that's not how baseball is, but we're trying to make input matter. So what did they do? What did these fellas do? They put Mr. McSlappy, aka Gold Battle Royale Demon D. Strange Gordon back in the game. For those who don't know, D. Strange Gordon, has one of the glitchiest, in an almost cheating way, swings. And his swing is not glitchy for exit velocity reasons. His swing is not glitchy for perfect purposes. Say that 100 times fast. His swing is glitchy because all he needs to do is just flick his little fucking stupid wrists and he slaps it over the third baseman. And it's not even a hard hit line drive. Usually it's a loopy poopy that just falls into no man's land. And the outfielder looks at the infielder's like, oh, I don't know, I can't get it. And then by the time you pick the ball up, who's on second base already? D. Strange Gordon, I will continue to mess that up, is a literal nightmare in Battle Royale. And it seems like every other opponent I play has him. So I can't wait to get through this entire season punting controllers across my office because D. Strange Gordon ruins my experience playing this game. I'm about ready to call the milk company to put an ad for a missing child on the back because I do not know where the MLB The Show companion app update is for people who have iPhones. Mr. Sir, on the Thursday night stream last week, basically promised that the update would be pushed out either Thursday or Friday. And here we are, you're listening to this on Wednesday, I'm recording this on Tuesday, and I am still unable to access an updated MLB The Show companion app. I don't want to see 22's companion app anymore. I want to flip Reds players, buy them at 25 stubs, and sell them for an ungodly amount, like 900 stubs, because everyone is trying to do the cheapest collection out there. The companion app is one of literally the best things SDS has ever done. It made so much sense to have. It added like a game within a game functionality. It kind of is a mini game added to SDS and MLB The Show. It is a great way to keep people engaged even when they're away from their consoles. It's kind of like brainwashing, which is why I love it so much. However, it grinds my gears that people say things and then they don't do them. Now, I fully understand that it's probably out of SDS's hands at this point. It's Steve Jobs and all his Apple people that are messing it up. And yes, Steve Jobs is making an impact on this from the grave. All I'm asking is for the CSIs and all these people who do all these criminal murder investigations to find the companion app. It's all I want. There's a $5 reward to the person who finds it. And lastly, at least from what I noticed, the event screen be broken. If you exit out of MLB The Show 23, if you quit a game that was frozen, if any random quitting action happens, not only is your events run kaput, no matter how many losses you have, you also have to recreate your lineup again. And now that brings us back to the prehistoric era of MLB The Show 21, where every single event entry, you had to put your damn lineup back in again. Last year, we finally got the gift. We finally got the update for quality of life that our event lineups save. It was magnificent. It was a time saver. It was what it always should have been. Now, for whatever reason, the game be broken. I don't expect this to last forever. I do think we'll get a patch pretty soon to fix smaller things like this. Things like pinpoint problems and lineouts, that's going to take a little more time and a little more data collection to figure out, but I would not be stunned if we got a patch within, I'm saying this Friday I think we get a patch, but realistically if we get a patch within the first 2 weeks I would not be surprised, because some of this stuff, this is silly, this can be fixed, but boy oh boy was this annoying while I was grinding to get 25 wins in the event. I had to remake my lineup a bunch of times because I'm bad at the game. YouTube, that'll do it for this week's Whiteboard Wednesday. Thank you guys for playing along. Thank you guys for showing support to this crazy new content idea. I took a risk by doing it, and I'm thrilled with the response you guys have given. Sincerely, thank you. Make sure you subscribe. Comment down below what you think about MLB The Show 23. Because if you don't subscribe, you will be haunted by Spencer Strider, who seems to be the diamond that everybody's pulling this year, despite wanting Mike Trouts and Shoheis and Aaron Judge. No, you're getting the mustache himself.